Have you ever wondered why your cat can sit for hours at the window, carefully observing what's happening outside? This frozen silhouette on the windowsill is one of the most characteristic cat poses that can be found in almost every home where a fluffy pet lives. Today, we will reveal 7 amazing reasons why windows so magnetically attract our domestic predators and what is actually happening in their heads during these long contemplations. Before we dive into the mysteries of feline psychology, write in the comments how much time your cat spends at the window and what, in your opinion, attracts its attention the most. Perhaps it's birds, passers-by, or simply the play of light. Your observations will help us form a more complete picture of this fascinating behavior. In the meantime, make yourself comfortable. Understanding why windows are so important for cats will help you not only better understand your pet, but also create a more comfortable and stimulating environment for it, which directly affects its physical and psychological well-being. The first, and perhaps most obvious reason, is the hunting instinct. Despite thousands of years of domestication, our cats remain predators at heart. The window for them is a kind of feline television, where the main characters are birds, insects, and small animals that would be their prey in the wild. When a cat watches a bird in a tree or a squirrel running across the road, the same centers activate in its brain as during actual hunting. Scientists call this predatory behavior without completion. The cat goes through all the mental stages of hunting, but without the final lunge and capture of prey. This explains why many cats make characteristic clicking sounds or chatter their teeth while sitting at the window. They are so immersed in imaginary hunting that their body begins to respond as if they were actually preparing to pounce. Interestingly, even the laziest domestic cats, who have never hunted for real in their lives, exhibit this instinct. This proves how deeply hunting behavior is embedded in feline nature. It doesn't need to be taught or trained, it simply exists. The second reason is related to the territorial behavior of cats. In the wild, felines constantly patrol their domains, marking boundaries and tracking potential competitors. Domestic cats have retained this trait, and the window for them is an ideal observation post for monitoring their territory. Have you noticed how your cat tenses up if it sees another cat through the window? The tail begins to twitch nervously, the ears flatten, and sometimes even a warning hiss is heard. This is not just curiosity, it's a territorial reaction. Your pet perceives the space it sees from the window as an extension of its domain and reacts to boundary violators. This is especially pronounced in cats living on the ground floors or in private homes. They can spend hours monitoring what is happening in the yard, reacting to every change in the familiar picture. For them, this is not just entertainment, but important work to protect the territory. The third reason is sensory stimulation. Cats are incredibly sensitive creatures with sharp vision, hearing, and smell. The window provides them with a rich stream of sensory information, which is especially important for animals that spend most of their time in the enclosed space of an apartment or house. Through the glass, a cat can observe movement, distinguish many shades and shapes, and track changes in lighting throughout the day. Even if there is nothing particularly interesting outside from our human point of view, for a cat, there is a whole world of visual stimuli. Their vision is designed so that they especially notice movement, an evolutionary advantage that helped their ancestors survive. Therefore, even the simple flight of a leaf or the movement of shadows can completely capture your pet's attention. In addition, through a slightly open window, the cat gets access to many smells of the outside world, from the aroma of flowering plants to traces of other animals. For a creature with such a developed sense of smell, this is a real informational feast. Imagine suddenly gaining access to thousands of new TV channels. That's approximately how a cat perceives an open window in terms of smell. The fourth reason is the need for warmth and comfort. Cats are real experts at finding the warmest and coziest places in the house, and the windowsill, especially on a sunny day, often becomes one of such places. Sunlight penetrating through the glass creates an ideal place for a cat's siesta. Interesting fact, a cat's normal body temperature ranges from 38 to 39 degrees Celsius, which is higher than human temperature. To maintain this temperature, cats expend a significant amount of energy. By warming their body in the sunshine, they save this energy, allowing the external heat source to do part of the work. This explains why many cats literally travel following the sunspots around the house throughout the day. In addition, windowsills often represent elevated platforms with a good view of the room, which gives the cat a sense of security and control. The combination of warmth, good visibility, and relative isolation makes the window an ideal resting place from the perspective of feline logic. The fifth reason is fighting boredom and the need for entertainment. Domestic cats, especially those that do not have access to the outdoors, may suffer from a lack of stimulation and monotony in their environment. The window becomes a source of constantly changing impressions for them and a kind of entertainment center. Veterinary behavioral specialists note that the ability to observe what is happening outside the window significantly reduces stress levels in domestic cats and helps prevent behavioral problems associated with boredom, such as excessive grooming, aggression, or destructive behavior. Access to the window is especially important for cats left home alone for extended periods while owners are at work. Observing the outside world helps them pass the time and get the necessary mental stimulation. Many owners notice that their pets literally come alive when seeing activity outside the window, whether it's flying birds, falling snowflakes, or simply passing cars. The sixth reason is related to the biological rhythms of cats. These animals are crepuscular predators, whose activity in natural conditions occurs at dawn and dusk. The window helps them track the change of day and night, adjusting their internal biological clocks. Research shows that natural light plays a key role in regulating the circadian rhythms of animals, affecting hormone production, sleep and wake patterns, and overall well-being. Cats that have the opportunity to observe the natural change of lighting through the window usually have a more stable activity pattern and suffer less from behavioral problems associated with biorhythm disturbances. This becomes especially noticeable in the autumn-winter period, when the daylight hours shorten. Many owners note that their cats become more sleepy and less active during this time of year. This is a natural reaction of the body to the change in the length of daylight, which the animal tracks through the window. And finally, the seventh reason is social observation. Cats are much more social creatures than commonly believed, and they are interested in observing not only potential prey, but also people, other animals, and the general dynamics of the surrounding world. For cats living in urban apartments, the window can become a source of social stimulation. They observe passers-by, children playing in the yard, other pets out for a walk. This helps them feel part of a wider community, even if they never leave the confines of the apartment. Interestingly, many cats develop special relationships with regular visitors to their visual space, whether it's the mailman who comes every day at the same time, the neighbor's dog on a morning walk, or birds flying to the feeder. They may wait for these characters to appear and show particular excitement when they notice them. Some owners even note that their cats recognize the sound of the owner's car and run to the window to observe its approach to the house. This shows how important a tool for social interaction an ordinary window can be for a cat. Now that we've figured out the reasons, let's talk about how to make your cat's window experience as comfortable and enriching as possible. Creating a comfortable spot by the window is not just about caring for your pet's comfort, but an important element of environmental enrichment necessary for its psychological well-being. Special cat shelves, windowsills with soft bedding, hammocks attached to the window. All this can make your pet's observation post even more attractive. Cats especially value places where they can not only sit, but also fully stretch out, exposing their side or belly to the sun's rays. If your cat shows particular interest in birds, you can set up a feeder outside the window. This will create a real cat cinema with constantly changing actors. Just make sure the window is securely closed so that your hunter doesn't try to reach the feathered guests. For cats living in apartments on high floors, it's important to ensure safety. Mosquito nets do not withstand a cat's weight and can cause tragic falls. There are special reinforced nets for pet owners that allow ventilation without risking the pet's safety. An interesting way to enrich your cat's window experience is to create seasonal entertainment. For example, in winter, you can hang shiny toys outside the window that will move in the wind. And in summer, plant plants on the balcony or outside the window that attract butterflies and other insects. Just make sure these plants are not toxic to cats if your pet has access to them. In conclusion, we can say that a cat's love for windows is a complex behavior, conditioned by many factors, from ancient instincts and territorial needs to the desire for comfort and social interaction. The window for a cat is not just an opening in the wall, but a multifunctional center of stimulation, entertainment, and rest, playing an important role in its daily life. And now I would like to ask you, what unusual reactions have you noticed in your cat while observing the window? Perhaps it makes special sounds when seeing certain birds, or it has a favorite time of day for window sitting. Share your observations in the comments. Your experience may be surprisingly similar to, or conversely, different from the experience of other cat owners. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell to receive notifications about new episodes, and be sure to share this video with your cat-loving friends. Perhaps it will help them better understand their fluffy contemplators. In upcoming episodes, we will continue to reveal the secrets of feline behavior and consider another intriguing feature of our domestic pets that often raises questions from their owners. Get ready to learn even more about the mysterious world of feline psychology. And remember, when your cat sits at the window, it's not just looking at the world. It's exploring it in all ways available to it, satisfying the deep needs of its amazing nature. The window for a cat is not just glass separating it from the outside world. It's a portal to an infinite universe of impressions, sensations, and discoveries.